Welcome to episode 13 of the Bias Bettors podcast. We come to you from live across the nation. As always, our goal is to make you more money. This collective of six of the greatest gambling minds you'll ever find come to you on this Thursday night. We've got a good Bills-Texans game going on. We are starting the podcast a little bit differently this week. We come to you with rankings of the Bias Bettors. We've got two separate rankings for all y'all. Number one is a collective ranking of how we're doing so far this year, 1 through 6 of the Bias Bettors. In our betting statistics, in our analysis from the stats guys, Dudley comes in as Bias Better number 1 on the year. Bias Better number 2 cannot join us tonight, but that is Bias Better CJ Winkleman comes in number 2. Number 3, Rams Egg comes in number 3. Number 4, PGZ.
Bullshit.
Number 5, HJ. And in last place, give it up, Bias Better Double G. Just bringing absolutely nothing to the table. Got waxed on the Eagles-Lions bet. But in other news, we also did a ranking of who can drink the most Busch Lights on a Saturday night. Rams AG came in number 1. Double G, with a valiant effort, came in number 2. Winkleman number 3, PG number 4, HJ number 5, and Dudley number 6. So the stats team said, if Dudley's number 1 in betting, but he's number 6, we really need to figure out who is the best performer in the Bias Bettors. Rams AG coming in at number 3 in betting and number 1 in Busch Light is taking home the midseason crown. We'll see at the end of the season to see where the stats are. Double G, what do you got to say for yourself as the number 6 Bias Better right now?
Just a completely biased ranking, but I guess what else do you expect from the Bias Better stats team?
Just wish they didn't talk about drinking as much, is what somebody's saying right now, listening to this show.
All right, let's get into who's hot. Dudley, I'm going to pass it off to you. Who is hot this week?
Okay. Wait, why is Jerry Jones on this?
I put him on there. It's looking like his trade is working out for him.
Because they beat the Raiders?
Some people say they're playoff bound.
Start the pie, start it over and delete him. That is awful. Okay. So we have Bias Better Paul. I believe I saw something on Twitter that he's basically won 6 in a row in the NFL. Is that true?
6 in a row in the NFL, and I did not submit a college pick, so 6 in a row in general right now. Riding a 6-game win streak.
But does he actually have currency on these bets?
My wife does.
Okay. We also have the Utah Utes. There's a picture of Shaky Smithson just torching Iowa State with a young Bias Dudley in the crowd in 2010. A little 68-20 game. That was awful to watch. But somebody on this show who was also on this Who's Hot slide said that Utah's the biggest frauds ever, and they just cooked Baylor last week. I was able to go to bed halfway through. That was how nice of a bet that was.
And what are they, 17-point favorites right now against K-State this weekend?
Yes. Yeah. I'll get into that on my slides. We also have White Magic himself, Fran McCaffrey. A big win over the St. Joe's Hawks, I believe they are. Or are they the Eagles? They're the guy that flaps all day. But that was a big win in the Big Five Classic there in Philadelphia. They have a big game against Drexel on Friday. If they beat Drexel, it leads to a showdown in December against Villanova to be the Kings of Philadelphia. Just a phenomenal job by a great coach that was railroaded in Iowa City this past year. So that's great to see. AG, yeah.
Does anybody really want to be the king of Philadelphia? I mean, just an absolute dog shit town.
If there could be anybody that would perfectly be the king of Philadelphia, I present to you a Mr. Fran McCaffrey. I hear that he's done a great job of cleaning up jaywalkers. His kids have done a great job of mowing down any jaywalkers.
No.
You know what they call him? Fran Jalen Carter McCaffrey.
Fran did have Jack, who's currently playing for Butler, I believe, came in at halftime and talked to the team and told them when they were up big on St. Joe's, keep your foot on the pedal and don't let up at all. So that was great to see.
Who who let this guy have the
A
microphone?
quick comment about St. Joe's. I know it's probably a college. I haven't heard about St. Joe's basketball since Grady, we were growing up. Who did they
Yeah,
have? The dynamic duo in the backcourt? Who was it?
Delonte West and the Magic point guard
Delonte West, is that
Jamal Nelson,
Jameer
Jameer
Yes,
Jameer
Nelson.
Jameer
Nelson.
Nelson. Great pull, AG.
is Delonte West the guy that LeBron James's mom?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
And
what
he's
a
now
world we
homeless.
live in. What a world. Okay. When down on the bottom left, we have ourselves Corn Jesus himself, Brock Purdy. We just had to listen to, Mac Jones is just as good as Brock Purdy. Like, look at all of this type of stuff. Just absolutely torching everybody on the Arizona Cardinals. One of the best defenses in the NFL. So
Right.
that was just phenomenal to watch. I had chills watching it. I'm glad that my Rams already got 2 games out of the way, so they don't have to play Brock until the NFC Championship games. So that's great to see. And we have Jerry Jones. And then just a second before Paul clicks on the play button, the last person that we have on this slide is somebody that we really give a lot of grief about on this show, Mr. Colin Coward. Years and years ago, he had a phenomenal take on a certain university in the Big Ten on how they just always beat up on these horrible teams. And then once they start playing teams that have a heartbeat, they just get exposed. So I'll let Colin circa 2015 give a little summary that I think sums up this weekend quite well for our Hawkeye fans in this group.
I don't want to hit play, but I will amuse you and I will hit play.
Hopefully the sound works. Is the sound working or no?
I can hear it.
It's a shame that only Paul can hear it.
I doubt it's
It's,
gonna work, so that
let me
people can
guess.
look it up.
It's the fake ID of college football. Let me guess.
It's the cover of Gloria, basically saying that Iowa thinks they're number one since they beat a bunch of bums. And yeah, just elite song, elite job by Colin Coward, the best. Okay, who's cold slide? Grady, did you put the 2 on the left?
I did,
Yeah,
yes.
you can talk about those two. I'll hammer out the right side.
On the left, we see Patrick Beverly, who's under investigation for attempted murder. We also have Patrick Mahomes, who did not play super well, is 5-5, leading the Chiefs team, who before last week was still Super Bowl favorites, but now is on the outside looking in of the playoff picture. And we are wondering, is he really the GOAT?
I
Patrick
think the goat
Beverly's
was
on
on the
trial
last
for
slide.
murder?
I didn't know that either.
What did I miss?
Yeah, went into his parents' house. Uh, Apparently some guy was with his sister, and yeah, you can look it up.
Not good.
That's
And he's going to be Paul's supervisor next week. Is that what we're hearing?
what is this Chad Pennington picture?
Well,
It looks
it's
like they're
not a
about to
Chad
make
Pennington
out.
picture. It's who's getting a little intimate with Chad Pennington there. One, Tim Lester, number one on the Who's Cold, Who's a Fraud. I was told for years, 2 years now, this guy's going to save the Iowa offense. He's going to be a savior in
Two
ranked
years
games.
now.
In ranked games with $1 million quarterback, his guy, he's got Bud Meyer coaching the receivers. You know what he's done? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, he runs guys in motion. Oh, wow. He has done not a thing at Iowa, and it is just amazing to see. Next year, though, with whatever washed up injured quarterback Iowa gets, we'll go through this all over again. And then following a loss to a number 24 ranked Iowa State team, probably, and some other mid teams, we'll talk about it all over again. But Tim Lester, you are cold. And then Mark Gronowski, the running back for Iowa. What do you have to say about a guy in a ranked matchup? One of the biggest games of the season for Iowa, down on the 5 yard line. They don't even trust him to throw the ball. He has to go out on pass patterns. What are we doing here? 2 passing touchdowns in ranked games and 4 ranked games. This guy averages 2 yards a carry in ranked games, so it's not even like he's running the ball well. This is just awful. I just feel bad for you guys. See, now I was gonna have Winkleman, and we were really gonna go hard, but now I'm kind of outnumbered here. So here we go.
Dudley, I'm not saying anything is wrong that you brought up, and you must have some Iowa people on Twitter that you hate.
I have just Iowa people in general.
Gronowski hasn't been the greatest. Tim Lester may not be the second coming of Jesus Christ, but I still like this team. I don't know why. They play hard. We're out of the Brian Ferentz era.
Wasn't Paul the one just saying before the game last week that Iowa was going to make the playoffs? And then 10 minutes later, he goes, I'm just kidding. This team sucks.
It's a bit of a snip-snapping situation between its basketball season, and you know what? This team might make the playoff.
Because of how that second half against USC went, I'm glad they lost to Oregon. That would have been brutal to lose the game that way if you had beat Oregon and still had the playoff on the line. So, all right, you can have your day, Evan. We're moving on to Bias Better HJ. What do you have to say for
I
yourself?
had to have a separate page of who's cold because it's even colder in Antarctica than the other cold page. So JJ McCarthy's on it. Who else would you expect me to put on this page?
9. So, Matt DeBaker, proud and loyal follower of the program. He's going at it on text today with Hannah. And what did he say? He's trying to find a single quarterback stat in the NFL that JJ McCarthy is not in the bottom 5 on. Just
cannot find it.
Let me see if I can find it, because I think I saved it because it was kind of a good Purdy stat, but I might not have saved it.
There's like a graph he sent that's like going straight up of all these quarterbacks and their statistics, and JJ McCarthy's stats are so bad, they're like falling off of the chart. Like you can't even put them on the chart. They're so bad.
First
I
one,
think,
I believe
Evan,
it
I
was
saw it. Who
the
has the
percentage
smallest
of passes over 25 yards.
No, who has the smallest hands in the NFL? It was Purdy and then McCarthy.
So the one that I saw was the percentage of passes 25 yards or farther downfield. JJ McCarthy is like right in the middle of the pack, but on the other side of the graph, it's percentage of balls that are uncatchable thrown 25 yards downfield. Head and shoulders above anybody else on the uncatchability of his 25-yard passes. Just awful.
Stats to Justin Jefferson when he's targeting him like in the red zone is touchdowns to interceptions is 2 and 5. He has 2 touchdowns to Justin Jefferson and 5 interceptions when targeting Justin Jefferson. How is that even possible with one of the best receivers in the NFL that you can't get him the
Justin
damn ball?
Jefferson might not be that good.
Oh, come on.
He's got to get open more.
I'd quit running too if I had someone fucking throwing it 10 feet above my head.
I've heard enough about this quarterback for this season, so I think we might have to cut it off. The Vikings.
I could keep going on, but
the
let's
Vikings
go.
are terrible. We'll go to the David Bennett. This dog is barking. PG still in the lead. HJ making a strong comeback. I don't know if either of them has missed in a few weeks.
I got waxed last week. I got waxed last week.
Okay.
Baylor's a terrible program.
Paul PGZ picking Sam Houston State plus 6.5 at Middle Tennessee State University. HJ and Dudley picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the St. Louis Rams. Double G picking Syracuse plus 35.5 at Notre Dame with sharp money on our side. And Bias Better AG picking USC plus 10.5 at Oregon. Unsure on Oregon currently. And Bias Better CJ did not get a pick in, and even if he did, they would lose as he sucks at this and is in last place. That is your Ryan Ruzek, This Dog is Barking segment of the week.
Let's take a moment. I see Syracuse plus 35.5 against Notre Dame. Shout out to our follower. AG found him first. SEC Exposed. I started following him. He's a great follow on Twitter. He was retweeting a lot of stuff this week, breaking down how ESPN and the powers that be will get you in the college football playoff ranking system is going to get the talk shows this week to be fighting over who should be in. Notre Dame, Miami. Well, they played each other. Miami won, but Notre Dame's resume better. Yada, 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 yada. They want us fighting about that so they can slide in as many SEC teams as possible. It's complete and utter garbage. The SEC sucks. I just had to get that in. The SEC Exposed guy on Twitter is freaking awesome, and you need to follow him. Shout out AG, SEC Exposed. Speaking of AG and HJ, we're going to go into the matchup of the week. It's Sunday Night Football. It's the Tampa Bay Bucks traveling to Los Angeles to play the Rams. How do you guys see this going? And on a side note, we got to give AG and Dudley their flowers. The Rams look damn good right now. Didn't have a great matchup this week, and I just want to hear a little bit about the Rams. So let's start with HJ. How do you feel about the game, and then go to AG?
I do believe that the Rams will win this game. I don't think they'll win it by more than a touchdown, though. Baker and his crew just seems to keep games close. I heard the Bucks are getting some of their boys back too on offense, which will help Bucky. Mike Evans are rumored to be coming back this week.
Really?
And the Bucks defense isn't really where it needs to be at, so I think Matthew Stafford will light him up pretty good.
But you like him to cover a touchdown?
Yeah, I think the Tampa will score even if their defense isn't keeping pace.
I see this opened at 2.5 and it's up to 6.5. What do you think, AG?
I think it's going to be an absolute rout. The Rams offense struggled last week, but the Rams offense can kind of come and go. It's a defensive football team at this point. Got a best punter in the league, and we got the thick kicker. So what else do you want? Rams cover -7.
And the MVP front runner at quarterback.
Yeah, I mean,
Stafford.
It's still a defensive team.
That's
because we don't know how to run a play inside the 10-yard line.
And I have to hear about how much what's their running back? What's his name again?
They got to cut him. I mean, high
So
garbage.
he could lose them the game fumbling in the red zone. You just never know with
He
his
will
hands.
lose them again, fumbling in the red zone.
He already
has
has.
lost them games. Multiple.
2 quick things. JJ McCarthy out of Michigan gets a lot of hate. Blake Corum may be as big of a bust. Well, he didn't go top 10.
I was going to say. No.
Number 2, Landman. I love this guy. He's absolutely just punching out footballs on the defensive side of the ball. How is that not more common? I don't get how
It is
fumbles-
common, but you just got to be really good at it. You got to be in the right spot all the time.
Stafford said it during training camp. The offense was getting driven insane because Landman was punching out balls all training camp. He's obviously working on that craft. He's getting really good at it. He's the new peanut punch. Did he have one this week, or did I just see an unreal highlight film on Twitter this week that was looking at old games?
He didn't have one this week. He had
The
one
early
last week.
season Texans punch, where then the D lineman makes an incredible recovery. Just an all-time football play right there.
AG, what's our punishment, though? You want to wager on it?
Well, the last 6 punishments people just don't do, so I'm not going to put one out there because people are just frauds
After
in
the
this
hot
chat.
dogs.
Tough look. Hot
I
dog
did the
man.
tattoo. Dudley did the hot dogs. Where's everybody? Yeah, Connor, what a pussy.
I painted my nails. All right, going into Dudley's picks. What do you like in college football this week? What do you like in college basketball this week, Dudley?
We'll take up the final 20 minutes of this show on my slide right here. I'll try to be quick. So I have a lot of stuff on this slide, obviously. So football-wise, Kansas, Iowa State. Iowa State's currently a 4.5-point favorite. Kansas's defense right now is giving up basically 250 yards rushing minimum to any type of team with a heartbeat that they're playing right now. Iowa State's actually running the ball really well. I think kind of the over is going to be the play in that game too. Iowa State has been awful against Jane Daniels in his 30 years at Kansas. So I see that being a high-scoring game. I do think Iowa State pulls away and gets the win, though. So, yeah, Iowa State KU over 54.5 and Iowa State money line. Oklahoma -7.5. It sounds like Bo Pribula won't be back yet for Mizzou. If that's the case, that line will probably shoot up to about 10 by game time. if Pribula does play, I don't know. They might be able to cover it. I'm just going to kind of stick with Oklahoma 7.5 and just see if they can ride on vibes from last week and blow away Missouri. I will admit I was wrong on Oklahoma. I was hoping they'd be 6-6, and unfortunately they will not be due to how soft the bottom of the SEC truly is. Um, Utah minus 16.5 against K-State. So K-State, Dylan Edwards is transferred away, which I kind of hinted at months ago on this show because he fumbled the first punt of the year against Iowa State. Then it was just a gigantic puss the rest of the year. So he's going to be out. Jace Brown, who's basically their offensive juggernaut wide receiver, their best running back basically too, because they don't have a good running game. He's also out. Then Austin Romaine, their number one linebacker, leads the team in tackles. All Big 12 linebacker is also out. I think Utah is going to be able to run all through them, and Utah is going to want to put up style points. There's a small chance. It kind of went out the window with Oklahoma winning, but Utah may be able to get in if you kind of get a miracle Missouri beating Oklahoma type of upset or something like that. So they're going to try to get as many style points as possible. And then I have the BYU Cincy over. Cincinnati's defense is pretty similar to what Iowa State runs, and we kind of saw what Bear Bachmeier did against that. And then I think Cincinnati's going to be able to score a lot on that BYU defense as well. Any questions from the gallery on the 30 million football picks that I made this week? We're going all in. I'm 28
I
and
like them
18 on
all.
the year. We're either going to ruin that thing or we're really going to pad some stats here
Yep.
this week.
Attaboy, Duds.
Two comments. Dudley admitted he was wrong when he said he was wrong about Oklahoma. Dudley, you're turning a leaf. And number two, what did you get that Utah line at like a week and a half ago?
Oh, 3 weeks ago, that Utah K-State line was 1.5 Utah. I felt like that went against the spirit of this competition to put that on the slide. So I doubled down on Utah minus 16.5.
He's an
I,
honest
I should have
chap.
if I would have tweeted something, I would have said something about it.
You can
Um,
already get a line on a lot of the Black Friday games. Just saying. You can already get a line on a lot of the Black Friday
if
games.
anybody wants a little birdie, Utah minus 8.5 against Kansas next week. Utah's going to run all over Kansas. That's a heck of a play if you can get it right now.
All right.
Um,
Don't talk college b-ball yet because I got some college b-ball stuff. Let's come back to college b-ball. Anything else on football, Dudley?
no,
Okay.
kind of
AG,
wanted
what
to
do you
talk
like this
basketball.
week?
All right, well, my football picks have been terrible, so we'll go to the bottom left. Paul said we're not going to talk basketball, but I'm going to. The Iowa Baylor women's basketball under 140 just hit. The teams barely got to 100. It was the lock of the century.
Oh
One.
my.
I
Yeah.
tweeted it out today. And so
Well done.
you need to follow, that was an easy winner. And in this football game that is currently going on, it is under 44.5, and the current score is at 42. But they are down more than 3, so that's still possible. Tweeted it out as well. Rams Bucks over 49.5. The Rams might score 50 themselves. And then I really like Washington minus 10.5. They've burnt me before, but I will take them in this spot. Michigan State at Iowa over 42.5. Michigan State's terrible. Iowa should run all over them. And that's the only way Iowa can score, as Bias HJ has said. And I think Michigan State, I don't know if Childs is playing quarterback, but I think they'll hopefully be able to score 2 touchdowns, and that would hit the over. That's all I got.
All right, Double G, speaking of basketball.
We're back, baby. Friday's lines. We got the play-in tournament again. Jazz are dogs at home by 15.5. I just couldn't quite do it, so I'm taking the under of 236 against OKC. At home, I just don't see OKC giving up that many points. But we're back for everyone's favorite game. Who's that playa? We have very easy on the left today. Celtics player was National Player of the Year in college for a elite program that's also taken a step up since he's graduated. Any guesses out there for people playing at home. Go ahead, Duds.
Would that be internationally renowned criminals? Frank Garza's son, Luca Garza,
The peacock, the
the
cock.
peacock, who a certain fan base
You know
idolized,
that.
despite the fact of him just abandoning his son to go on the
Yes.
run.
All right, who's on the right then for the more advanced players?
Oh, is that a Warriors player?
It is rookie.
I have
Just got
absolutely no idea.
he's got his
Tom
championship ring this week.
Thomas
Not Elton
Jefferson.
Brand.
No and no.
So he went to Florida?
Went to Florida.
I still don't know. I have no idea.
Al Horford.
I think I know 4 of the Florida starters, and he must have been the one that I can't think of.
Oh, Joakim Noah.
Who is it?
Will
Corey Brewer.
Richard.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's the
All
one.
right.
Do you remember watching that basketball game here and he was on fire? We had bet on it. They were down to Georgia. He could not miss. 3-ball shooter.
Yep. Nice
Number
player.
5.
Anyway, thanks for playing Who's That Player this week. I just looking at AG's abysmal football picks this year. There's no way, according to the statisticians, that I'm that much worse than him. Seems like every week I'm picking up mid, going 1-1 at least, but making people some money on the double GTD parlay. This week I got Lamar Jackson and Puka Nakua plus 395. Get it in. For my picks, I'm going to take the Lions minus 10.5 at the Giants this week. Must win week for the Lions as they're creeping lower out of the NFC playoff picture after a bad loss to the Eagles. And then I'm taking Syracuse plus 35.5 on the pure look of I still don't think Notre Dame's that good. Notre Dame's senior day at home. Everything's going Notre Dame's way in the books. So I'm gonna go
Now
again.
you want to cash in on Notre Dame, Grady. You've missed so many opportunities on Notre Dame this year.
You're absolutely correct, HJ, and I can't say I've watched more than 3 minutes of a Notre Dame football game. So
I've bet
I'm
on almost every single one of their games.
all right.
All right, I'm trying to stay away from a lot of college football since I would probably be up with Dudley if I just stuck with the NFL.
Whoa.
But I'm gonna go Vikings plus 6.5. I read some stat that I think the Packers are kind of fraud, but the Vikings are also terrible. But I'm still gonna pick the Vikings. The Packers are 3-7 against the spread this year, so they're not covering much. They're not playing that great. Jordan Love, meh, shaky at times. I'm gonna do Bucks plus 7. We already talked about that. I'm gonna hammer the Jags minus 3. I know AG will probably hate that, but Arizona is awful. And to be only 3-point favorites against them is a little wild to me. And Marvin Harrison is out again. So again, they have no one. And I'm gonna go the under 57.5 with Texas, Arkansas game. I don't think Arkansas will score, and I don't think Texas is going to score 50 points himself. So that's a big over under.
Man, the Vikings?
I can't help myself. I can't.
They just keep betraying you, but you keep going back to them.
I think she just likes all of JJ McCarthy's advanced stats.
If
It's gotta
Jay and
be.
I could stay away from the Vikings betting, we would have so much more money in our accounts.
All right, I'm going to go quickly through mine. I've got some great nuggets. So keep in mind, I was 6-0 in NFL betting last week. On this podcast, I did not submit it on Twitter as an official pick, so I didn't count it. But on this podcast, I also said under in the Eagles and Lions game. So I technically am 7-0. Plus, HJ asked me for 2 TD scores last week. I said Jordan Addison and Ollie Gordon. No one but Dudley even knows who Ollie Gordon is. And Dudley only knows him because he played in the Big 12.
Out. go for a year.
Absolutely flaming hot. I've got an NFL pick for everybody. In the NFL this week, we've got the Dallas Cowboys hosting the Eagles. Take the Eagles -3, but my play is actually over 47.5. I think people are going to like that under just because the Eagles have been playing some really low scoring games. But the last time the Eagles played inside in a dome, it was against the Vikings, and they absolutely ran it up on them. I like the Eagles to score a lot of points. We know Dallas is going to score a lot of points. Take the over 47.5, and then I'm going off script. This is not one of my teams, but I've got a mortal lock. Virginia Tech hosts Miami this week. Virginia Tech just hired a new coach, James Franklin. The transfer portal rules say James Franklin now has 15 days to get in front of those players and convince them to stay at Virginia Tech. After those 15 days, a courtesy 5-day portal window opens up, and those players have 5 days basically to have a free transfer if they want it. Now, if they have transfers left at the end of the year, they can still use one of them. But that team is not thinking about football right now. That team is getting a pitch from a coach that no one likes, no one trusts, and is, not well thought of in the media. And they're all thinking about, okay, what's my decision going to be in a few days when I've got that 5-day free portal window opening up? I think Miami -18 going to Virginia Tech in college football this weekend is a mortal lock. I think they win by minimum 3 touchdowns, but probably by 30 or 40. So take the Hurricanes -18 on Saturday. And with that, we're going to jump into some college b-ball talk in the last 6 minutes here. Dudley, what do you like in college b-ball? I'm going to pull your slide back up, but what do you like in college b-ball this week?
The big kind of plays that I have right now is I'm watching a terrible Kansas State team run away from Mississippi State. Again, if you guys were tailing by Studley, might have made a little bit of money on that today. So all the games on the bottom, we're getting close to the greatest week of the year, Feast Week. And all of the games on the bottom that I've highlighted or bolded, that is who I am putting a half unit on to money line ish. And then on top of that too, so on the side you guys see, I'm basically gonna fade at Iowa State next
Oh
week.
my word.
Are we watching football?
Great return, and they're going to get a field goal and hit the over.
No.
It was a crossing route.
Well, no, it was a hook and ladder. the Texans fell for it. Undisciplined football team. I said this
Oh,
from
that
the
was the
start.
4th and 30.
4th and 30, and they ran a hook and ladder, and Shire just fell down. No, it was Stingley. Sorry, Evan, or Dudley, you can go.
Could it be called a hook and ladder or a hook and lateral?
Whatever it's called, I don't care. That was pathetic.
Go ahead, Dudley. So what do you mean you're fading Iowa State?
I think St. John's is going to be pretty good. Honestly, I hate the matchup that Iowa State got in the first 2 games in Vegas. So Creighton and Iowa State, if you guys don't know, TJ Altzelberger is a longtime assistant of Greg McDermott. Whenever Iowa State and Creighton play, for the most part, it's a pretty tight game. Like going on Ken Palm, that thing looks like it should be like a 7-8 point spread for Iowa State. I would just take the points right away. Honestly, whatever the points are, just take them with Creighton. Creighton's kind of that type of build out of a team where they're just going to chuck threes, and as long as they don't turn it over, they should have a pretty good shot. And then St. John's as well too. If Iowa State doesn't turn over St. John's, that could get ugly for Iowa State. Maybe I'm wrong, but those are kind of the 2 that I feel pretty good about. And then Tennessee spread versus Houston. I just don't think Houston's quite clicking yet. Tennessee might be able to kind of jump on that pretty early. And then the other big one is I would put your life on Indiana beating Kansas State on Tuesday next week.
You like Indiana this year?
I love Indiana. Indiana is good, and Kansas State is bad.
Yeah, they are.
That or whatever the over is. I don't care if it's 250. Just blind bet the over.
What is this event in Vegas? What technically is the event where all these good teams are going there?
Players era basically it's a giant NIL tournament. So all these teams are getting paid to go there. And then like it's weird because they've got, I believe, like 10-ish teams. So it's
Yeah.
not a clean bracket at all.
Yeah.
So you play 2 games and then it's based on winning. Well, it's
Pool
your record
pool
and then
play. Yep.
your win differential, and that's kind of how you
You're
get first place and whatnot. It's kind of
yeah.
goofy. It's kind of stupid. Kansas plays Syracuse and Notre Dame. And Kansas, in my opinion, might be one of the worst teams in that tournament, but they played the two teams that are worse than them. So shocking. Bill Self will get some extra money out of all this type of stuff. But I don't know. If Iowa State goes 2-1, I'm going to be thrilled. My guess is they probably go 1-2.
Does anyone
So
else have any other college b-ball stuff?
Beavers plus 70.5 tomorrow.
Against Drake? I So similar, they have another game this week against School of the Blind, but they've got a couple big ones coming up here next week. On Tuesday, they play the team that knocked Iowa State out of the NCAA tournament last year. They take on the Old Miss Rebels and wife beating Chris Beard. The lines
Alleged.
the lines are not out yet because, like I said, Iowa's got another game in between there. I would take the under in that game. Iowa's been scoring a lot of points. Old Miss has been scoring a lot of points, but both those coaches like to play football once in a while on the court. So I like Old Miss and Iowa under. And that one's in California. And that one actually is more of a tournament. So depending on if Iowa can beat Old Miss, I believe the little 4-team tournament on the other side, they would play either Grand Canyon or Utah. So Iowa basketball, Ben McCollum's going to get his first real test, other than if you consider Xavier a test. He's going to get his first real test with Ole Miss and possibly Utah in that tournament. Anything? I know they're not one of your teams, Dudley. You know anything about Utah b-ball this year?
Suck.
They do.
Whoever wins that first game is going to win that tournament.
Yeah, that's tough because Grand Canyon,
I
they're
think, yeah, Grand Canyon, they lied. They're not playing that great right now either.
no, and Grand Canyon's the type of program where they got to revamp their team every year just because they lose everyone in the portal.
Honestly, I think Grand Canyon's probably the better team than Utah there.
Utah historically has been decent, so I thought they might have a decent program, but I haven't paid attention at all. I'm more focused on Ole Miss. So
all
Iowa
game.
Hawkeyes got a big win
Oh,
tonight, covered their 31-point spread pretty easily. AG sweating out a Thursday night football game. Other than that, we're going to let you go on the week. Thanks for tuning in to the Bias Bettors. We'll see you
we might
all.
have one more minute to get a live reaction out of AG. Oh
Did
no,
they call
never
a
mind.
flag?
Yeah, that's the
No.
game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Game over.
All right.
I thought we were looking at a
That's
blind
a
deal.
winner,
We got a flag.
boys.
Runner,
We got a
baby.
flag. We got a flag.
Flag, late flag. No.
It's on Buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
All
done.
right. Let end it.
Call it.
See
Cut
you
Good
next
win.
week.
Williams.
Like and subscribe. Cut Kyron Williams. See everybody next week.